Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome back to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and whether you're listening to tonight's show on one of the many glorious apps here at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your BCS National Championship night. Oh, what a good night it is. It is so good to be back. Of course, this is our first time on in 2 weeks off for the holidays.
Long break.
For the Christmases and the New Year's and everything. And it's fun at first. It's fun to be like, it's normally Sunday's hectic for me getting stories together and everything for the show, but it's nice to Sunday just sort of sit back and enjoy things as a spectator and everything in the holidays. Once you get to the end, I'm just pacing through my house. I'm just
like there's so much to talk
I
about.
need to
and
go.
You're not there.
like I hate it when something happens when we're on break because it's like,
that's the worst.
I know exactly what I'm going to say about that. Oh wait, I'm not going to be on air for 2 weeks.
9 more days.
It's rough. It's rough, but I managed. We all survived. Clearly, I hope all of you had a good holiday, good end of the world, good New Year,
Oh, it was wonderful.
good everything. That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it. Hope you folks at home also enjoyed your wintry time. Hopefully the snow is done. It's starting to melt.
A little bit.
In there,
It's
maybe
supposed to
it's
get up
over.
to 50s by Friday.
There you go. Tank top weather.
So what?
Around here it is.
Goodbye
Right?
sleeves. Anyways, remember as always, you can call the show toll free 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Get to the website highonsportsradioshow.com. You got the archive, my blog, a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, highonsportsradioshow.com. Facebook.com/highonsports. Yeah, Facebook.com/highonsports. Twitter is high_on_sports or hashtag #high_on_sports. That's everything. You had to give me a minute to get back in the flow, and I'm back. We're good. We're ready to go. All right, let's get into things here. We've got a jam-packed show for you. It is round one. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I missed the bell. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad we're not done. And the gong. The gong that's sometimes here, too, for no reason. They're all great.
Lets you know you're still alive.
Obviously, the big thing is immediately following this show, while you're listening to everything in between, immediately following this show with your host, Von Erich, you will have muted on the TV starting at 8 p.m. kickoff for the BCS National Championship, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Alabama Crimson Tide. I've seen T-shirts made that say Catholics versus Cousins. So that seems pretty exciting.
Messed up.
We are going to be breaking down the game and making our coveted predictions with scores later in the show in the second half, because in the first half, we got to start with a bit more pressing matters. As crazy as that sounds, definitely more of a hot button issue right now is the NFL coaching carousel. 1 week ago today was the holiday nobody enjoys, Black Monday, as it's come to become known as. It is, it is the day right after the season ends in which coaches and GMs are given the pink slip. So they should call it Pink Monday, but I guess it just sounds dumb. Anyways,
Yeah, they
I
can
have...
get Susan Komen to sponsor
is
it.
that Susan Komen's Pink Monday for the cure?
Yeah.
Why not?
Where a bunch of coaches lose their jobs.
It's so screwed
For
up.
cancer. Anyways, I have a list in front of me of the Black Monday victims. Really, it's worth noting. These are the victims that were let go on Black Monday. Only one other person to add to this list post Black Monday. Other than that, nobody's been fired outside of Black Monday. The one person to add is Chiefs GM Scott Pioli. No longer with the organization, but that was a while coming. I'll start with a couple of the GM coach combos. As I said, Scott Pioli and Romeo Crennel in Kansas City. Mike Tannenbaum, the general manager of the Jets, let go. Worth noting, Rex Ryan still there. Also worth noting is the tattoo that's been discovered on Rex Ryan this week. If anybody's seen that, it's a tattoo of his wife
saw that.
in a Sanchez jersey
Tebowing.
on his arm. Yeah. Like, what is up with that? I don't even know. That's the one. That seems to be the reason he's kept Sanchez around.
Yeah, because his wife likes him.
He's like, otherwise the tattoo's stupid. Even though it was stupid to begin with, but whatever. Gene Smith, the general manager of Jacksonville, let go. They kept Mike Mularkey for now. They're going to analyze whether or not they want to keep him once they get their new GM. Although, honestly, at this point, I'd just keep him because once you finally get a GM in there and then fire him, who's there? Who's left
Yeah.
to hire, really? Norv Turner and A.J. Smith, that's been a long time coming. What else we got? Ken Wisenhunt and Rod Graves over in Arizona, both relieved of their duties. Lovie Smith of the Bears, that was the shocker.
That was.
That was a lot of people quick to point out. He's 10-6, loses his job. Rex Ryan 6-10 gets to stay. Who knows? Who knows what people are thinking here? Chan Gailey of the Bills, hard to keep a job in Buffalo. And Andy Reid of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
Also Pat Shurmur, of course, and Tom Hackert of our Browns. We'll get into the Browns chase for a coach in just a second, but let me go back to Andy Reid. Andy Reid, what can you say about that? It's 12 years with the Eagles, and let me put it this way. He spent 4 days unemployed. 4 days without a job before he immediately found another job. Was formally introduced today as the Chiefs head coach. For any adamant listener out there who's writing down everything I'm saying, first of all, get a better hobby. You're wasting your time. Your life must just be miserable. And second, you may have noticed Andy Reid joining the Chiefs, is how do I put this, directly goes against something I said on this very show. We have a clip of it. Chris, can we play that clip? You get the feeling that Andy Reid has tied himself to his last quarterback, and ownership is going to finally be done with him. I am going so far as not only to predict that he will be fired at the end of this year. I am coming on air right now. There will be a digital record of this. It is 7:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, November 12th, 2012. Andy Reid will be the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns next season. And just note that I make that claim while Andy Reid is currently employed somewhere else, and we currently have a head coach employed by the Cleveland Browns. I am making that bold statement today on this show, on international internet radio. Andy Reid, head coach of the Browns, next year. You heard it on High on Sports First.
You're really going out on a limb there, aren't you?
Well, all right then.
My defense.
Now, what happens when Andy Reid doesn't become the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, I'm not worried. He will be.
Well, what happens? I mean, you got to think about that.
he's
What
not-
I
happens?
don't know. What do I do?
He's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen apparently.
Does he
So
have to
there
make
is
an
no what
apology?
if.
Yeah,
I
you're-
will come on, and I will make a heartfelt apology.
Yeah, I'm sorry one
I'll
of my
have a whole
sports
speech.
predictions did not come true.
Right?
Terribly sorry.
I will have a heartfelt speech apologizing to the city, to the fans, to the Reid family,
That would be funny.
to everyone.
I mean, at least you got the fired part right.
I've prepared the following statement. It is because of my prediction that I come to you here tonight on High on Sports with a heavy heart and solemn remorse. Words cannot begin to describe the sorrow I feel for the pain and suffering I've caused to everyone involved by my inaccurate sports prediction. I first want to apologize to Mr. Andy Reid, his lovely wife Tammy, sons Britt and Spencer, and his beautiful daughters Crosby and Drew Ann. I'm sorry for the emotional distress and embarrassment I've caused you and wish nothing but the best for you in Kansas City. I also want to apologize to the city of Cleveland and Browns owner Jimmy Haslam III. And most importantly, I want to extend my deepest sympathies to the fans of all Cleveland sports for the false hope that I so foolishly promised. I cannot guarantee something like this won't happen in the future, but I can tell you that I will use what I've learned from this experience to become a better radio show host and a better person. Thank you, and God bless.
That was the greatest
Well
thing
done.
ever.
See, you can
Very
never.
heartfelt.
You can
Almost
call
brought
me
a tear-
wrong.
It brought a tear to my eye.
You can call me wrong, but you can't say I'm not a man of my word. So there's that.
Man, I look at least you're 50-50 on it. You got the fired part right. And Shermer got fired.
Well, it doesn't deserve that much applause.
No, it deserved more. You're right. No, of course, but of these head coaching vacancies, 2 now have been filled. The Buffalo Bills hired Doug Marrone, head coach of Syracuse, and obviously Andy Reid now with the Kansas City Chiefs. Doug Marrone brings us into the interesting circuit of series of events that went on this weekend in Arizona. Of course, I'm sure you've all seen it. The Browns made Chip Kelly their number 1 target. And after I believe it was about a 9-hour meeting with him that was started in the lunch period, extended to dinner on Friday, word came out late Friday night that the Browns and Chip Kelly were report close to a deal and, quote, saw no obstacles in the way of a contract. They also set up another meeting the next day, Saturday night, where lawyers would be present, which means, of course, that a deal would have been discussed. Contracts, things like that, things you need a lawyer for. Well, Chip Kelly, of course, said, I am a man of my word. I will still meet with the teams I promised to meet. And then I'm back to you guys in all yours on Saturday night. Late Friday night, casually met with the Bills. I don't even know how long that was. And then spent almost the entire day Saturday meeting with the Eagles. By the time he was supposed to meet the Browns for dinner, he was still with the Eagles. With the Eagles till some say even close to midnight that night. So the Browns, in a state of panic, went through who they had already interviewed and invited, just mentioned him, Syracuse head coach Doug Marrone back for a second interview, leading many to believe Doug Marrone had then become Plan B. All right, so let me just put you where I was on here. Friday night, I go to bed thinking, wow, the Browns got Chip Kelly. This is awesome. Then I wake up to a bunch of alerts on my phone that say Chip Kelly to still meet with the Eagles today. And I thought, okay, but, I guess we'll see what happens. Then by the time I go to bed Saturday night, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I can't believe this is going to come down to like a bidding war with the Eagles. We might be screwed, but at least Doug Marrone is the backup. Then I wake up Sunday morning. Bills hired Doug Marrone. And then by Sunday afternoon, Chip Kelly all of a sudden is back in play to go back to Oregon. And then about midday Sunday, the Browns announced they have reset their coaching search and are starting back from square one. The term was reboot. Everyone always complains about rebooting movies. I think I hate this more.
Yeah.
I'd rather see them do Spider-Man 40 more times than have to
starting-
start hunting for a coach again.
Yeah.
The original was way better. But so now, really, we have no idea where the Browns are at this point. But I've compiled a small list of sort of putting the candidates in categories. The categories are limbo, void, meaning they are totally off the table, and then 4 coaches that are, I don't know what to call the category, but the Browns either interviewed, will interview, or have plans to interview or whatever, who are still in play. These don't necessarily mean these are the leading candidates. These are the ones that the Browns have or will talk to and are still in play. We'll start with them. Ray Horton, they met with once. Although Ray Horton, people wonder how much connection is there to Ray Horton. Ray Horton is, if you don't know, the defensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals. I'll tell you what about Ray Horton, what I take away from Ray Horton. I don't know much about the guy. I know he's been the defensive coordinator in Arizona for 1 year, and in that 1 year they were 5-11, and at one point lost 58-0. So he's the defensive coordinator who led a team to give up 58 points. And I know that he has dreadlocks and looks far too old to have them. That is the one thing I see when I see him. He's got the face of an older man and then dreadlocks. And I just think at some point you let him go and you cut it short. You're an older gentleman now. There's certain things. You can't have a mohawk when you get to a certain age. There's a lot of
'Cause then
hairstyles.
you just look ridiculous.
There's a lot of hairstyles, and when you get to be an older gentleman, you officially
Time to
can't
go.
pull them off anymore. It's time to just keep it short. And see what happens, But other than that, honestly, I hate to say this, but he was interviewed by a lot of teams, and that was almost, not entirely, but a big chunk of it was the Rooney Rule. And I don't want to be that guy to say he was only given this opportunity to interview because you have to interview at least one minority candidate. But let's be adults here. That's the only reason Ray Horton got a lot of these interviews.
Yeah.
You're a defensive coordinator for 1 year on a 5-11 team. You don't land a lot of interviews like that. No. Bruce Arians is a guy the Browns intend to meet with in the near future, they hope. Of course, hospitalized right now with the flu-like symptoms, but appears to be okay. Mark Trestman was a guy that the Browns were reported to meet with today. Then an Associated Press report said that's not true, but they will meet with him soon. Mark Trestman, formerly part of the Browns as a offensive assistant, and I believe coordinator briefly and quarterbacks coach, and he's worked at the college and pro level with Bernie Kosar. Currently, since 2008, the head coach of the Canadian Football League Montreal Alouettes. So take that for what it's worth, I guess. And another guy they interviewed just once, didn't seem like they were high on him. Kind of figured we're in Arizona, he's in Arizona, got a couple hours to kill, let's have a conversation. But we'll get back to this guy. Ken Wisenhunt is a guy they talked to very briefly. I have 3 coaches in the void section that they've interviewed but are off the table. Chip Kelly, obvious. Going back to Oregon. Once Phil Knight got involved. Phil Knight, if you don't know who he is, was his name came up the least in these conversations, but he was by far the biggest player. Founder, CEO, and owner of Nike. Major booster of Oregon. This guy has enough money that he could have bought the Browns and Eagles and chosen not to hire him if he really wanted him to come back to Oregon. But instead, he just opened up the checkbook and says, we'll see what happens. Doug Marrone obviously was their backup plan, now in Buffalo. And Bill O'Brien, now head coach of Penn State, decided to stay with Penn State. Only met the Browns for about an hour, though, which for a coach interview, that's not a long time.
Someone just wanted a free lunch.
Clearly. And on the guy I have in limbo, because it's almost definitely a no, but I'm not ready to flat out say no, is Nick Saban. There's been no interview, no discussion of an interview, no interview lined up, no nothing. Except the only thing is he's come out and said that he has no desire to leave Alabama, which is why I think they got a shot. Let's not forget the last soundbite Nick Saban gave us before becoming head coach of Alabama. Quote, I have no intentions of becoming the head coach of Alabama. Followed by 2 weeks later accepting the deal to become the head coach of Alabama. So that's the only reason I think there's still hope, is that he said, I'm not coming to the NFL, which leads me to believe, hey, this guy might come to the NFL. That's what he does. I'm not ready to shut the door on him until the doors have been shut. And I do believe, even if when the Browns pick someone else to be their head coach, I believe this is a similar situation to Pete Carroll in Seattle. Seattle had a plan. They had Holmgren. They brought in to be Holmgren's assistant was Jim Mora Jr. Jim Mora Jr. was announced their coach in waiting. When Holmgren hangs it up, Jim Mora Jr. is our head coach. He's going to learn from Holmgren and learn how to be a coach. And that happened, and they were all right. 1 season in the books with Jim Mora Jr. Not a horrible season. Full intentions of keeping Jim Mora Jr. until Pete Carroll decided, I'm ready to go pro again. In which point Seattle immediately said, get out. And brought in Pete Carroll. They didn't hesitate at all. It was the same night that he said he was considering the NFL, was the same night he accepted the deal and was introduced as the new head coach. It literally happened that night. Like, he woke up that morning, I don't even know if he planned on being an NFL coach. But by that afternoon he did, and by that night he was. I fully believe that it is like that for Nick Saban, is that the Browns will ultimately go with someone else, most likely. Who knows who that will be at this point. But I do believe that if at any point Nick Saban says, I want to come to the NFL, then that Browns coach is as good as gone. I don't care if it's 1 season in, he's gone. and Nick Saban is more than welcomed. I really believe it's a situation like that. But who knows? It's all remains to be seen. The guy that I want from this list, that I like even more than I liked Chip Kelly, honestly, and he's been so swept under the rug in all of this, is Ken Whisenhunt. I am so high on Ken Whisenhunt. Ken Whisenhunt was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers for 3 years before becoming a head coach. In those 3 years, year one, Steelers went 15-1. Year two, they won the Super Bowl. Year three was a down year because that was the year Roethlisberger had his motorcycle accident.
Broke his face.
Yeah, broke his face and the appendix and all that stuff wrong. And when you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. Just ask Ken Whisenhunt a couple years later with Arizona. But then there was sort of reports of an under-the-table deal that you're our coach in waiting. When Cowher's done, you're in. Because you got that Steelers AFC North toughness that we like. You're our new head coach when he's out. But instead, they go with Mike Tomlin, which caused him to bolt and go to be the head coach in Arizona. Add that in with the fact that he lost the Super Bowl to the Steelers. This is a guy who does not like Pittsburgh. Come to a team that does not like Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Look what he took. The Cardinals, can we be realistic here? The Cardinals have not been good for 50 years. They have not been good since they were the Chicago Cardinals. It was their first division win in the year that they went on to go to the Super Bowl. That was the first time they won their division in over 35 years.
Yeah.
35 years. Granted, they had Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner was there a little bit before that, just kind of hanging out, waiting to get old and die. He is one of the people responsible for giving Kurt Warner that rejuvenation of his career, sending him back to the Super Bowl, making him back into a coveted Pro Bowler. He saved Kurt Warner's career. And now, honestly, that is the only reason now, with Kurt Warner retired and with his cushy NFL job at NFL Network, now people think, I could see Kurt Warner in the Hall of Fame. A lot of people believe that, what is it now, 2 years left or whatever, till he's on the ballot?
Yeah.
A lot of people think Kurt Warner's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He won one Super Bowl, went to two. Mm-hmm. Should have won that Pittsburgh one. That was bullshit.
Honestly, everybody kind of forgot about Kurt Warner until Ken Whisenhunt showed up and made us remember. Everybody was done with him. Because remember, yes, he was great with St. Louis and everything.
They had Marshall
for a
Faulk.
while. And then he was terrible with the Giants. And then
when was he on the Giants?
Thank you.
He went from Seattle to Arizona.
Nope.
What? You're a liar.
St. Louis, Arizona. Nope.
So yeah, St. Louis, Arizona.
Nope. I'll show you right now.
What?
We'll just stop
I
the show.
remember that.
How do I not remember that? I don't remember that
Watch
at all.
Thank you. That's my point. That's my point.
Because I remember him in St. Louis because I watched both those Super Bowls, but not even a game do I remember him playing with New York.
All right, I guess it was one season. So I'll give you that. It was the 04 season.
And it was only 04?
Only 04. Only
That's
04.
not that too long ago. I should remember that. That's
yeah,
weird.
you probably should. But that's my point is he was a disaster there. It was not pretty. It was not good. And then even coming to Arizona, it was not good for a couple of years. When did they go to the Super Bowl? Was that 09?
No, it was I was at Bowling Green still in the dorms. I think it was my
We're
sophomore
going to count
year.
backwards by Super Bowl.
I believe it was 08.
What just happened was Patriots Giants. Before that was
Green Bay, Pittsburgh.
It was 11-12, 10-11.
And the Giants and Patriots again, wasn't it?
9-10. So it was 8-9.
8-9.
So it was 2008, 2009. That was 3 years,
Yeah.
4 seasons that he spent in Arizona where he sucked still. Where Kurt Warner and the Cardinals were still terrible. Until, what was it, 07, I believe, 07, 08? It's about the time Ken Whisenhunt came in there.
Yeah.
Second year there, takes him to the Super Bowl. Third year there, they still went deep in the playoffs.
Yeah,
They
that was
upset
when
Green Bay in like the first round.
Yeah, and they lost to
Like double overtime. It was ridiculous.
I think that's when the Saint that year that the next
They
year
lost
was
to the Saints who won the Super Bowl, yeah.
Who won? Yeah.
I mean, it's so wait, I think it's 7-8. Never mind. We're not
they
going to go.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a couple of years ago. And Kurt Warner did have some time where he wasn't very Kurt Warner and the Cardinals as a whole, I'll say, weren't very good for a little bit there until Whisenhunt came in there. And even Whisenhunt, even after Kurt Warner left and he was stuck with the Matt Leinart.
Leinart for a minute.
Derek
and then,
Anderson.
Yeah,
2 years after Kurt Warner left, he still managed the team to an 8-8 season.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot fault him for what he did this last year, this 5-11 record. Like, how many quarterbacks did they go through? Who were some of these guys?
I mean, they had gone through, I think, they were on 3 or 4 by the 4th weekend. It was every week for the first half of the season was a different quarterback almost.
Yep. And I can't even fault him for the Kevin Cobb stuff.
Oh, no.
Kevin Cobb fooled us all. Thank you, Andy Reid.
Right?
But honestly, it's just everything's there. This guy, he is tough. He knows how the AFC North plays football. He does not like the Steelers anymore. Haslam was a minority owner for the Steelers. He knew this guy. Haslam was one of the people sitting there paying this guy.
Yeah.
Who knew he was, the real deal. Honestly, this is your coach, Browns. I know you're listening. I know you're listening, Mr. Haslam III, because I directly mentioned you in my apology. Go hire Ken Whisenhunt. Hire him tomorrow, which is another thing. The Browns said, now we don't know. At first, when they wanted Kelly, they said, we were going to name a new coach in 7 to 10 days. Now, after this whole Kelly debacle's over, now they say, let me remember exactly how Banner phrased this. He said it could be a week, could be a month. The only thing is, if it's a month, that means you're waiting to talk to an assistant on a team who's still in the playoffs, which points, in my mind, to only Josh McDaniels.
Oh, God.
Don't hire Josh McDaniels.
No.
Josh McDaniels, this is honestly, if there's any team Josh McDaniels would leave to coach for, it is the Browns. This is his home team growing up. Everything. He's from the Cleveland area. But what I've been reading, Josh McDaniels has no intentions of leaving. Why would you leave such a cushy job? History has proven coordinators for the Patriots suck. They are not good because all you have to do to look good coaching the Patriots is show up and work for the Patriots.
Because Belichick runs everything and you just stand there to fill a position.
Josh McDaniels used to be Tom Brady's quarterback coach. How much coaching does Tom Brady
he doesn't.
need?
Yeah, would he just stand there and go, okay, good game, Tom Brady.
Tom
High
Brady's
five.
quarterback coach gives him a high five when Tom wants one.
Yeah.
Mind you. You don't force one on him. You only give a high five when he's asking for one. And you give him water. And that's it.
All I can imagine is the coach just constantly hounding him.
Brady.
Tom.
No,
That's
Josh.
That's a good way to get canned. Tom Brady will fire you. He does have
Sit down,
administrative
Josh.
powers. I do not go with Josh McDaniels. This should be done already. Ken Whisenhunt. Okay, I understand you want to take some time. You want to meet Bruce Arians. Or meet with him, I should say. You already met him, probably. You want to meet with Mark Trestman. Meet with them. That's fine. But you know what? Let's not dilly-dally here. Ken Whisenhunt should be the head.
All the way.
He should be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Plus, he looks tough as hell.
He does. He looks
If
like
you're
a
not
badass.
familiar, just Google image Ken Whisenhunt. Now, mind you, when he takes his hat off, he's like bald, but it's like the older man bald, like where you haven't, like where you're not just like screw it, shave it. You're still like there's still some hair.
It's hanging on.
But like with a hat, this dude's scary.
And look, that's all
I
you
wouldn't
need.
mess with him.
You
He's
need a
like-
badass looking mofo.
Something like me.
And
Yeah.
that badass looking mofo needs to hit Pittsburgh, and you got my vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Take my hat off. I'll blind you.
No, Ken Whisenhunt's a weird kind of bald. It's weird. It looks like it's a bald that maybe it's from wearing a hat, like all the time.
Hold on a second.
Or like the receding hairline.
Maybe I don't know.
Look in
It's
a production studio.
Yeah.
I'm looking in the production studio. No, see, yours is like from the back. It went out, and you got the middle
Right.
thing.
This is coming
Whisenhunt's the one where it's just like it just went back already. Like it's just back. Like it's like the
It didn't stop.
it's the horseshoe thing going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's from
But
wearing
it's
a
the
hat.
horseshoe with like some fluffs. Like it's really hard to explain. You have to look it up. You just have to look it up. Ken Whisenhunt, just Google it. There'll be pictures without a hat. I'm sure.
Horseshoe baldness. Let's do that.
But he's just the thing is, you put the hat on him though on Whisenhunt, and it's just like, who? He's a scary guy. It's like he's older, but it's like I wouldn't mess with him. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we might make some playoff picks for this weekend. what's urinating us off, and of course, our breakdown, analysis, and picks and predictions. We're predicting final scores here, people. We're playing for keeps. BCS National Championship. All that and so much more. This is High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. Are you tired of all the overhyped advertisements for energy drinks and energy supplements?
Maybe skydiving from a suborbital spacecraft or jumping a snowmobile over 80 buses is not in your agenda.
Maybe you just want to make it through the day effectively. Whether it's work, school, or raising a family, life's demands can be overwhelming. When you need that extra kick in the butt to help get you going, try Cocaine Energy. You'll not find a more effective energy supplement. Cocaine Energy has higher caffeine content per ounce than any other energy supplement on the market, and it's safe. Worried about the side effects of so much caffeine? We got you covered. Cocaine is scientifically formulated to mitigate against the side effects normally associated with large doses of caffeine, such as the jitters and heart palpitations. So what are you waiting for? Try cocaine today, because life doesn't wait. Cocaine is available at local retailers and online at www.drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. Once again, that's drinkcocaine.com. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for children, pregnant women, or people sensitive to caffeine. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call
Joe the Printer Guy!
Joe the Printer Guy offers a full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. User friendly and ready to serve. morningshowcentral.com.
Back to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
Somewhere.
There I am.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hey.
Yeah, everybody's a little distracted right now. I got a picture of Ken Wisenhunt up on my computer. Scaring the crap out of everybody. I'm terrified. I'm closing this out. You're creeping me out, bro. Whew. That was close. Anyways, whether you're listening on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your championship evening. The wait is finally almost over. And remember, as always, to call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Get to the website, highansportsradioshow.com. You've got our archive, all our past shows, my blog, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, highansportsradioshow.com. Facebook.com/highansports. Twitter is at @high_on_sports. Or hashtag High on Sports. That's going to wrap it up for that. Let's get right into round two. Let's go.
Whoa. Well, that's new. All right.
Ken Wisenhunt's throwing everyone off their game tonight.
Holy cow.
Anyways.
Hey, something different.
It is time for a stable of High on Sports, and that is, of course, what's your landing us off. We're going to start, as we always do, with Von Erich. Von Erich, what's your landing you off on this championship evening?
Well, a lot of people will get on Roger Goodell and the NFL about how strict they are and all the suspensions that they dole out. Well, I think what flies under the radar a little bit is David Stern in the NBA and the way he rules with an iron fist.
Oh, I'll give you that one.
Recent event, Celtics point guard Rajon Rondo suspended for one game for what some would say incidental contact with a NBA official.
Incidental.
Well, the NBA has labeled Rondo a repeat offender. If you might remember, he was suspended for one game in the playoffs last year for pretty much the same thing, bumping a ref. And they want to come down hard to make sure this type of incident, whatever that may be, doesn't happen anymore. So that's what's irritating me off. It's just the NBA and Stern just coming down on everyone way too hard.
I mean, you can't really. He didn't attack, but I mean, he didn't accidentally ran into him. It's Rondo. Dude gets suspended every other week.
I'll say this about the NBA and their refs. I think they're overprotective of them. Because they have all these rules in place and they fine the players and everything if you do anything that pisses off a referee. Yet let's not forget the ref that made the biggest headlines in the NBA in the last decade was that one that was putting the fix on.
I will tell you that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Let's remember that. And then also let's remember 2 years ago when you had Kobe Bryant and Joakim Noah both get fined in the same season for relatively the same thing. Kobe significantly more. And the thing was, they don't fine you based on your contract, or else that would make sense. Which they should if you think about it. You get fined X% of your contract, But either way.
Yeah, not like if you're a minimum played player and you're getting fined $50K. Well, that's your whole year's salary.
That's a good
what
point.
the hell
It's
are you supposed to do?
You get superstars really would be able to do whatever they want because $50K, that's nothing. But no, the thing is though, it's you had in the same season that Joakim Noah called a fan what did they call it? A homophobic slur or a homosexual slur or whatever.
Yeah.
He called a fan that and then got fined less than Kobe who called a ref that. But I'm just saying, shouldn't the NBA be more concerned about players insulting the fans
and insulting the
us?
Because
I
mean, I get it if you can get teed up and get tossed from a game for getting in a ref's face, but getting fined and getting suspended, that's just overkill. Because sometimes refs suck, and you need to let them know it. If they make a crap ass call, you need to let them know it. So maybe they won't make it again. But no, you're supposed to sit there and be like, yeah, awesome call, ref. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the not bumping into him. I mean, I don't think it's warrants a game suspension, like Von Erich said. But, I mean, just fine him. Why the hell do you got to suspend him a game? Mm-hmm. But then again, Rondo gets suspended every other week.
True.
Because that dude's just an asshole.
The Celtics, they're just an old, dirty team.
And Rondo's an idiot.
And the NBA hopes that Rondo will learn his lesson in regards to how to behave around officials and how to be cooperative with the league when it tries to conduct an investigation.
Third time it's happened. I think he would have learned his lesson by now if he actually wanted to learn his lesson. Definitely. He doesn't want to learn his lesson. 2 months ago, he was fighting with, what's his face, Kim Kardashian's wife, whatever the hell it is.
Oh my God, she's pregnant with Kanye's baby. That's the worst baby.
White husband. Wait, he's not white anymore?
No, but whatever. But whatever. They're fighting in the
Sammy
stands.
Sosa.
We got 2 days for that, and then he ran into a ref a couple months before that. But
yeah. I don't know about Rondo. He's the way he plays. He should be one of, if not the best point guards in the NBA. But he's just, I don't know. He just doesn't know what he's doing.
No,
he doesn't.
I didn't like him when he first came out, and all of a sudden, who the hell is this guy? And I don't like him now.
All right, well, thank you, Von Erich, and I guess Ashley, too.
You're very welcome.
And I'm going to make my urinating off very quick. It's just a thought. It's something we talked a little bit about, sort of, with the flirting of Chip Kelly and everything. What urinates me off is the overall concept of a coach hunt, is that contracts mean literally nothing. I don't understand why you can go talk to someone when they're still under contract in college or even in the pros. I don't understand why we're signing contracts if contracts are not supposed to be upheld. For example, Les Miles flirted with Arkansas when he's already the coach at LSU. You had, Brett, whatever, Bulima, whatever, from Wisconsin, left Wisconsin, up and left, and went to Arkansas. I just don't understand, and they're never held accountable.
No.
You can always just accept the bigger check wherever it is. And it just doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't work like that for players. The Browns right now, if you think about it, once the Patriots season ends, why don't we go after Tom Brady?
Right?
He's
Whether or not he's going to leave.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Why can't we meet with him?
We should at least interview and meet with Tom Brady. Except, oh wait, he's under contract with New England, which for some reason means something only when you're a player.
Yeah.
But not when you're a coach.
If you're a coach, it's basically... they might as well just, everybody needs to just be a 1-year deal.
It needs to be like a real job where you
get hired.
You work here.
Yeah.
And if you start to suck, we fire you. If you want to leave, put in a 2 weeks notice.
Exactly. But yeah, that's why I don't understand.
The point of contracts at this point is
with
just
coaches.
ridiculous. Pay them hourly too.
Right?
Figure that out somehow. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm like, and if you're a coach, like a really small time, I coach Tulane. I make minimum wage. You know?
That's funny.
You shouldn't make a whole bunch of money for coaching Tulane.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Because you know they're not bringing any money in.
Me on internet radio is one notch above you, head coach of Tulane. I'm just saying we should make about the same amount of money. Anyways, but that's a knock against Tulane, not myself. Anyways, that's it for urinating off. We're going to talk playoffs real quick, then get into a big game. We're going to make picks. I'm putting you guys on the spot because you didn't know we're doing this. Not scores or anything. I just need a winner loser. These are the divisional round matchups going on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to start with the first game, Baltimore versus Denver. It's in Denver. Who you got, Von Erich?
I got Denver.
All right, Ashley?
Denver.
Denver.
Peyton all the way.
And Ray Lewis.
They're just
Goodbye.
too good this year.
All right, and they're probably headed straight. Oh God, them versus the Patriots in the second. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that right now. That's going to be so good. Then we have at 8 on Saturday, Packers in San Francisco. This is a tougher one. Von Erich?
Green Bay.
I'm going San Fran just because it's in San Fran.
I am going. Wow, this is tough. This one can really go either way.
Yeah, that's why I just went with the home team.
But I guess I'm gonna go San Francisco. But honestly, Kaepernick has to play mistake-free football.
Oh, I forgot about Kaepernick.
You look at the quarterbacks. You got Aaron Rodgers, playoff-tested Super Bowl winner, MVP, Colin Kaepernick. Nothing.
I forgot they were playing with Kaepernick.
Although you got,
I'll still take San Fran.
Kaepernick is physically better than Alex Smith is the only thing. But who knows? It could really go
He's
either
still
way. Just that San Fran defense. Ugh, they're scary. And then Sunday at 1, this is my favorite matchup. Seattle in Atlanta. Von Erich?
Ooh, that is tough. I really want to pick Seattle, so I'm going to.
All right.
I'm going to.
All right.
I think Matt Ryan's finally going to win one.
All right.
I'm going Atlanta. Seattle's going to run out of steam.
You think he's finally going to win one? I think he hasn't shown me anything to make me think he can yet. Seattle. Russell Wilson keeps it going.
I think they're going to run out of steam.
I don't know. They don't seem like it.
They don't.
I mean, it used to be, Seattle's unbeatable at home. But now all of a sudden they can win on the road, too. I don't know. Seattle's my dark horse team for me right now to watch out for the Super Bowl. I know there's a rookie quarterback, but that's why it's a dark horse, you know. And then wrapping things up, Sunday at 4:30, we have Houston in New England. I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Von Erich?
New England.
New England.
Yeah, that one seems like a no-brainer. They already met, 42-14?
It's something.
Monday Night Football.
Houston's not. They're good enough, obviously, to win the first round against Cincy. They're not good enough to beat New England in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because New England in the playoffs is a whole different monster than New England in the regular season.
Fun fact about last week's game not even last week, it was 2 days ago, with Cincinnati versus Houston. Is Andy Dalton at 2 years in the NFL had more postseason starts than Matt Schaub at 9 years in the NFL. Because last year was the first year the Texans have ever been in the playoffs.
And Schaub was out with a broken foot.
Hurt.
Yeah.
So something worth noting. Now let's get into the main event here tonight. After the long, long wait, this one promises to be one for the ages. Alabama at number 2 versus number 1 undefeated Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Discover BCS National Championship kickoffs at 8 p.m. It's in about 10 minutes. This is going to be good, hopefully.
Right? If we're giving it all this hype, not like last year's debacle.
Notre Dame is very, how do I put this politely? Crappy on offense. But their defense, well, let's be honest here. Let's point this. As far as points against go, this is 1 versus 2 in the national championship. Notre Dame's given up 10.3 points a game, and Alabama's given up 10.7. So it's 1 versus 2, but it's technically like 1 versus 1A. But Notre Dame, the thing worth noting about them is, let me see exactly how to phrase this stat because it's a weird number, but it's significant. In the red zone, all right, when they're on defense, their red zone defense only allows a touchdown 76%. They stop you from scoring a touchdown 76% of the time, which means what? That's
24.
24. When you get in the red zone, there's only a 24% chance you can make that into a touchdown. That's like playing against the Browns, is what that is. I mean, the Browns being the team trying to score, obviously. Compare that to the worst. That's number 1, obviously, in all of college football. Worst, fun fact, is Hawaii. Only stopped you 16% of the time.
Yikes.
And even the FBS average is 40% stoppage rate. Yet Notre Dame sits atop at 76%
just insane.
stoppage rate in the red zone. And as far as here's a fun fact though. As far as now this is kind of ridiculous. This is taking some history into account. If you take every FBS school, every season they've ever had, we're talking every season that Michigan's played football, every season that Tulane has played football, every season that Notre Dame has played football, every season they've ever had, you add them all up together. And now this is a stat in regards to the goal and like whatever and goal downs. You know, like a first and goal, second and goal, whatever. Whenever your goal to go, that's what they call it. It's like whenever you're whatever and goal. In all of history, Notre Dame has the best average at that. You only score a touchdown in down and goal situations all time with Notre Dame. 1 out of every 3.
Damn. Talk
One
about
out
a goal
of every
line
3
defense.
times you get to the goal line is the only time.
They
two,
did have that.
two out of
They
three
had that.
times
They had that
stopped
huge
them.
one this year against
Stanford, obviously, yeah. Wow.
That kept them undefeated.
I mean, you got Alabama. Look at the record real quick. Wins against Michigan, Western Kentucky, Arkansas, Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss, Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi State, LSU. Lost to A&M, Western Carolina, Auburn, Georgia, and now against Notre Dame. And then over on the Fighting Irish side, Navy. These are all wins, by the way. Navy, Purdue, Michigan State, Michigan, Miami, Stanford, BYU, Oklahoma, Pittsburgh, Boston College, Wake Forest, USC. Alabama had the harder schedule. Let's be honest about that. It's really tough to call looking by that. But it's just this Notre Dame defense is something special. And you know what? I looked over some of these players and some of the recruiting history. I never like to look at that stuff because honestly, recruiting to me is one of the most boring things in all of sports. I understand it is essential. It is the lifeblood of college football. But I'm sorry, National Signing Day, I cannot get pumped to sit here and watch. Does this kid pick LSU or South Carolina?
Right.
Ultimately, I don't care.
No.
Call me when he's actually something. You know what I mean?
Right. The only thing I look at is who'd Ohio State get.
Because how many guys declare on National Signing Day
and then change their
fizzle
minds,
out
yeah.
into nothing or change their minds or something? Call me when it's actually there. And I've just been handed something hot off the presses, literal presses, because it was printed. This is about the Browns coaching search that we talked about earlier in the show. If you missed it, YouTube search High on Sports. We are the original red, white, and blue High on Sports. Do not be fooled by the imposters. #USA. This is the Cleveland Browns might pursue Super Bowl winning coach John Gruden.
Okay.
Now that Chip Kelly's out of the picture.
Hey.
It's a name that's been thrown around that the Browns could potentially pursue him. It's going to take a lot to get this guy out of the booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you're in the booth, it's hard to leave.
Yeah.
Look at all the guys before. The thing is, if someone's going to leave the booth, they tend to get to the booth, not like it, and get back out there.
Yeah.
Look at Urban Meyer. He spent a year.
He went right back to coaching.
Look at Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Both with ties to this area. Fun fact. But you look at these guys that come into the booth, look around, don't like it, and get back in the game. But then you get to guys like Gruden, you get to guys like Tony Dungy, you get to guys like Herm Edwards that are really in there and stayed there. I mean, do they come back? Eric Mangini no one's even thought, then again, he was sucked as a head coach both of his tries. But I mean, still, he was a brilliant coordinator. No one tries to think maybe we can get him to come back as a coordinator. No, he's on ESPN now. It's so hard to get guys out of the booth. It's one of the hardest things you can do in a coach hunt is try to lure somebody out of that booth. Bill Cowher is a name that's thought of every couple of years in Cleveland.
Right.
Like, it's okay, we'll just get Bill Cowher in the offseason.
And he
That was as soon as there was a
no.
new owner. I read something where, this new owner will have no problem bringing in Bill Cowher. Why? Because he's different than the last guy? Bill Cowher's not going to care, so the name on the caller ID changed. He's
Right.
still going to ignore the call. CBS has paid him out the ass to do nothing. That's what you don't realize about these people is compared to what they did before, they're
It's
doing basically
cakework.
nothing.
Yeah, it's
it's our jobs, but compare that to a job where you're actually up doing something.
Yeah.
You know, it's oh, this is what is this? This is breaking news from Grady Sizemore. This is Grady Sizemore doesn't want to sign a new contract until he's ready to play again. Agent Joe Urban says the 30-year-old underwent microfracture surgery on his right knee and isn't ready to commit to a team just yet. It could be opening day. It could be mid-season. He says mid-season is more likely. Grady Sizemore update. We got all these things coming off the presses now.
I feel so bad for Sizemore because he could have been so good.
Will he ever play
but he
anywhere
could
again, Von
never.
Erich?
He could never stay healthy. I
He
feel so
might.
bad.
He might, but not this year. You can file that one in. Nobody cares.
Sorry,
That's why
Grady.
I feel so bad. Damn injuries.
I remember the day we cut him. It was Halloween when they had cut him and then re-signed him shortly after. It was just last offseason. It was around Halloween, and because I remember it was Halloween day, on Halloween. Because I remember it was Halloween night and I was at a friend's house, and a little neighbor kid that I knew because I always see the little neighbor kid and everything. He's a big sports fan. He's always asking me sports stuff and everything. He comes to the door because it's Halloween. He's doing a trick or treat, and I was like, "Oh, hey buddy, how's it going?" And he's like, "Oh, good. How are you?" And he's Grady Sizemore, and I was like, "Oh, did you hear that he got cut today?" And then he was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah."
Way to ruin it.
Oh,
like,
you broke that little kid's
oh.
heart.
Yeah.
Hey, you're mean.
I don't know.
What is
Hey,
wrong
Grady Sizemore,
with you?
he got re-signed shortly after.
Yeah, but the kid, you probably ruined his whole night trick or treating.
Nah, he was fine. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know where he was. He's a good kid. He's fun. Anyways,
Break his little heart.
back to
No,
the.
but when you said cut, he probably thought he got stabbed or something.
No, he knew. He's a big baseball fan. A freakishly big baseball fan. He's just
How old is he?
He's like 10 or something. But like honestly, he's just constantly at the MLB network. Like just constantly. Nonstop. Watching the like terrible shows that are on there along with the
Oh,
informative
there's some
ones.
bad ones too.
Oh yeah, and he's there. He's just watching it. It's just like ridiculous. But anyways, let's get back to the point at hand here, and let's make our picks here. We have the number 2 defense going against number 1, BCS 2 versus BCS 1. For the sake of time, we're not going to do scores. We're just going to pick our winner. Von Erich, Alabama versus Notre Dame. Who you got?
Notre Dame.
Ashley, who do you got?
It's tough to pick against Alabama because they're good, but I'm going Notre Dame because I hate Alabama.
I'm going to be honest. Well, now you'll be honest too. I hate Alabama. I hate them. I cannot stand them.
Nope, I'm tired. I'm burnt out
We're
on Alabama.
sick of them.
I'm
Everybody's
tired
bored of Alabama. We're done with it. So at first I was telling myself, I have to pick Notre Dame because I want them to win. And then I don't know if I actually successfully fooled myself.
That's what I
Or
pretty
if I
much did.
believe this. But goddamn it, if I don't believe that Notre Dame's going to win tonight.
I think it took me. I had to talk myself after I found
You
out
can
it was
put
gonna
me
be
to a lie detector
Notre
test,
Dame,
and I believe
Alabama.
Notre Dame will
I'm
win.
like, God damn it, Alabama. But if you just keep telling yourself Notre Dame's gonna win, eventually you believe your own.
Exactly. I think I've convinced myself
Yeah.
of my own bullshit. This is okay. All right. Well, it's time for 3 up,
That's
3 down.
funny.
Real quick. Down number 3, Royce White, first-round pick of the Rockets, suspended for quote breach of contract for not flying with the team and refusing to commit to the D League. Down number 2, Bruce Arians, Colts offensive coordinator, hospitalized with flu-like symptoms and missed the playoff game. Down number 1, Cleveland Browns. Heavily pursued Chip Kelly only to lose out and be forced to start their search all over again. Up time, we like to leave on a happy note. Up number 3, Penn State head coach Bill O'Brien turns down NFL to stay at PSU. Up number 2, Andy Reid, after being fired from Philly, was only unemployed for 4 days before finding a new job with the Chiefs. And up number 1, we didn't even mention it, the NHL is back.
Whoa!
Owners and
Yay,
players
hockey!
agreed to deal to end the lockout. A 48-game season is expected to start on the 19th of January.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Is there
Man,
even a point in the?
Who
That's like what, a third of the season,
hell cares?
right?
Especially because it's not going to get a fair
10% of America
chance.
out in Wisconsin who watches hockey.
It's not going to get a fair chance now either because we're already too much invested into basketball.
Yeah.
obviously football's number one right now, but America, as the people that can't decide between basketball and hockey, they're too much into basketball right now.
'Cause they-
wanting to know how the Lakers are going to shoot themselves in the foot again. By the way, Dwight Howard out at least a week.
Yep.
So that's how. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. It's so good to be back with you. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes. BCS National Championship about to kick off. Make sure you put it on mute so you can listen to everything in between with your host, Von Erich. That's going to wrap it up for us. So for Chris, Von Erich, Ashley, I am Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, same place on morningshowcentral.com.